grateful. I'm so grateful of the things that you're doing. I'm so grateful of the many blessings. I'm so grateful, God, for you just being amazing and you just being awesome. Like, God, I can't even fathom what just took place. I can't even fathom what you're doing. Like, you're doing the increase. You're doing the impossible. You're doing the not normal. I keep saying the not normal because God is doing things that to us is not normal, but it's normal to God because God is one of those ones where God does things that is not normal. He's not he's not logic. Let me use that. God doesn't do things logically. We look at things, and the way we look at things is logic because we're operating in a carnal mindset. We're operating in what we would consider to be a normal mindset. And God is saying, I'm not logic. I need you to operate in faith. I need you to operate in faith. And when you begin to operate in faith is when you then begin to see the very things of who I am and what I'm doing. And so I'm praying to God and I'm like, God, you are off the chain. The things that you do. You are amazing, God. You are an amazing God. And so as I begin to pray, as I begin to pray, you guys, all of a sudden, God begins to speak these things to me. Because we don't find out how good God is until we get to the end of why we went through what we went through. Can I be honest? Can I be honest? Come on, I need y'all to share this. 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 We don't, and I'm being honest. Let's be honest. Let's be honest, for real now. Let's be honest. We don't recognize how good God is until you've gone through something and God brought you out of it. Hold on. Let me say that again because that was good because I got it. We don't recognize, and this is for real. This is real now. This is real. We don't recognize how good God is until we get to the end of why we went through what we went through and God brought us out of that thing. That's when we say, oh my God, you're good. Oh God, you're a good God. Oh, you're an amazing God. Oh my God, God, I know. God, I thank you. We don't give God glory enough. Even through the process, even through the crazy looking of things, even though it don't feel right, you should still praise God through that. But we don't give God praise and we don't magnify God and we don't tell God how good he is until we come out of a thing or until we get to the end of a thing. And then we realize, oh, this is the purpose. God, now I understand that. Now I understand why I went through that. God, you're so good. God, you're so good. God, you're so amazing. God, you're powerful. You're like all and everything I need, God. And God is like, I've been good. I've been amazing. I've been amazing. I've been good. You just have to understand the process. You just have to understand what I'm doing. You just have to go through the flow and still praise me in the midst of what you're going through. Still worship me. Still trust me. Still trust me. How many of you still do that? How many of you do that? How many of you trust God? How many of you trust God even during the process? How many of you trust God even during the process? Yeah, I know. But it be hard though. It be hard. When you can't see your way, that's the purpose of faith. We're going to get to it. That's the purpose of faith. That's the purpose of faith. The purpose of faith is to trust God even when it doesn't feel good, even when it doesn't look good. Guys, I'm getting this it keeps saying it's freezing really bad. Some people are saying it's freezing really bad. I'm getting text messages, it's freezing really bad. I don't know why it's freezing really bad. I'm trying to turn it to see if it'll go and get better, but I don't know. So, but I'm going to go forth. If it freezes, then you just go back and watch it, you guys. But what God wanted me to talk to you guys about this morning is knowing that no matter what attacks come, no matter what may take place in your life, you've got to understand it's all a part of the process. So if you read the topic basically says you need the attacks. You need the attacks. Thank you. They said, no, it's not your connection. Okay. You need the attacks. You need the attacks. You need the attacks. You need the attacks. And you're thinking, I don't like the attacks. Okay, so they say it's not freezing. Mine is good. It's not freezing. Okay, good. You need the attacks. And then you got to understand your vision and your dreams need the attacks. There's purpose behind the attacks, you guys. There's purpose behind the going through. There's purpose behind the suffering. There's purpose behind it. You have to understand it. So as I was in my closet and I was praying, the Lord began to download Joseph in my spirit so heavy. And so we're going to deal with Joseph this morning, you guys. We're going to deal with Joseph this morning. And we're going to talk about Joseph. We're going to talk about how our dreams and our visions requires attacks. Not only do it requires attacks, but it comes with attacks. When God gives you a dream and when God gives you a vision, when God gives you a dream, I need y'all to share this. Y'all need to share this. When God gives you a vision and God gives you a dream, guess what? You have just been qualified for the attack. The dream and the vision qualified you for the attack. Not only did it qualify you, but it's a part of the process for you to get to the purpose, for you to get to the dream, for the dream to come to pass, for the vision to come to pass. All of that is a part of it. All of that is a part of it. So I've got to encourage you, Joseph. Can I call somebody Joseph this morning? Can I change your name this morning? Can I change your name to Joseph this morning? So when I start saying Joseph and I point at you, you go ahead and know that God is speaking to you, Joseph. God is speaking to you, Joseph. He's speaking to you. And he wants to let you know that the attack is for your good. The attack is for your good. The suffering, it's for your good. You being lied on and talked about, it's for your good. The beating, the pressing, it's the oil, the anointing that God is squeezing out of you. It's for your good. It's because of the dream and the vision God gave you. So let's go into the word of God because I want to make sure I teach this morning. I might be on here a while. Who knows? You need to share this, but I need somebody to get it. First and foremost, I need to make sure everybody knows what a dream is because everybody feels like a dream is when you go to sleep and the Lord give you a dream, which it is. It is. When you go to sleep and you have these little visions in your sleep, they're like dreams that you begin to see different things. So let's go and let's look up dreams. Y'all know I gotta dissect everything. Dream. What is a dream? A dream is, listen, let me tell you what a dream is. It's a succession of images, thoughts, or emotions passing through the mind during sleep. Listen. Dream, a succession of images. It's images. When do you get images? Images are things that you can see. I'm making sure I'm breaking this down because I need you to understand why you're being attacked, why you're going through what you're going through, why you're suffering at this time of your life. It's because of the dream and the vision that God gave you. And it's what he gave you is why you, okay. Let me slow down. Because I'm getting real hyped already. Dream. It's a succession of images. It's basically what I'm seeing now. Images are like pictures. They're like pictures that you see. So it's a succession of images, thoughts, or emotions passing through the mind. So basically, it's what you see. It's what you see. Now, what is a vision? Because a vision is also a part of a dream, because the image is what you see. Okay, so let's go to vision. Vision is, let me tell you what vision is. The act or power of sensing with the eyes or sight. The act or power of sensing with the eyes or sight. Let me read this. The act or power of anticipating that which will or may come to pass. Listen again. The act or power of anticipating that which will or may come to pass. Now, the first part of vision was what? The act or power of seeing, having sight. The act or power of having sight. So now you have a dream. What is a dream? A dream is a succession of images or thoughts that flow through the mind. So what you have now going through your mind is what? Images. Images are what? Like pictures. How do you see images? How do you talk about images? You have to see them. So an image is something that you see. So a dream is something that I see. How do I see this dream? Through vision. Because vision is having the power, having the power of sight. Not only having the power of sight, but a vision is also me anticipating what will become. So basically, you are being attacked, or you are suffering, or you are going through a process because of what you saw and what you are now anticipating to come to pass. And the thing that you are anticipating to come to pass is what you saw. God gave you a dream, and the dream gave you a vision. I hope y'all caught that in the spirit. I hope you caught it in the spirit, because God says when you have a dream, your dream then becomes your vision. Oh my God. I hope somebody is catching this, because a lot of people say that dreams and visions are the same thing when they're really not the same thing. See, a dream, and this is why people say all the time, I don't want to live out my dream. I want my dream to become my reality. So I need my dream to now become a vision. And what do? You work towards your vision. The Bible says, write the vision, write it down in Habakkuk, write the vision, make it plain. When you put it on these tablets, you give it to people and they run with it and they make it come to pass. So basically, God gives you a dream. A dream now is images, things that you have seen that is going to become a vision, because a vision is the act or power, or you are anticipating for something to come to pass, for something to come into fruition, something to come forth. That's a vision. So now, God says, every dream that I have given you, every image that I have shown you in your mind, because remember, a dream is images or thoughts that flow through the mind. Oh my God. This is why Satan attacks the mind. We're getting ready to go to Joseph, but I need to make sure that I give you an introduction before we go to Joseph so you understand. This is why the enemy attacks the mind. This is why the enemy comes in the mind, because of the fact that your dreams and your thoughts will become a vision, a plan that will soon become a reality. And when it becomes a reality, you are then successful in what you work towards. So the enemy's duty and his job is to get in the mind to make you now no longer think about your dreams, so they can't become a vision that you work towards. Because every vision you are to work towards for it to come to pass, so you can walk in purpose, because your vision is a part of your purpose. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Your vision, the vision that God gives you, is a part of the plan. So here you now have a dream. You now have a dream. And let's make sure we get it. Dream is a succession of images or thoughts that flow through the mind. Dream is a succession of images or thoughts that flow through the mind. Vision is the act or power of seeing or sight, or the anticipation for something to come to pass. So now the Lord gives me a dream. I have a dream now. A dream now runs through my mind. I begin to see the images of this dream. Now that I see the images of this dream, I now make my dream a vision. Because God gave me a dream. I take the dream that he gave me and I produce it into a vision. Meaning I take the images that I saw, because vision also means sight. So I take what I saw and I make it come forth. So here now, we have Joseph. I needed to make sure that I broke that down so that somebody could get it when we start talking about Joseph. So you know what a dream is, and you know what a vision is, and now you know what's happening, because God give you a dream, and your dream then turns into a vision. And then your vision, you work for it to come to pass. So here it is. We have Joseph. Joseph is a 17-year-old boy, and he is the son of Jacob. He is loved by his father. If you would like to read this, because I'm not going to read it all fully throughout, and you want to know the story of Joseph, you can go. It's in Genesis chapter 37. Genesis on after 37, go on. You would then get to know the story of Joseph. So here we have Joseph, a 17-year-old boy, who is the son of Jacob, the son of Israel, Jacob. So now you have this 17-year-old boy who is loved by his father. Now, mind you, Joseph has several brothers. Joseph has several brothers because his father has several wives. And so now Joseph is the son that is deeply loved by his father Jacob, because of the fact that Joseph was born in Jacob's old age. And so he really loves this boy. He really loves this son, because of the fact that this son was produced in old age. So what he does is he creates a coat of many colors for his son, Joseph. Now, his brothers realize, wait a minute, my father really loves our brother Joseph. He loves him more than he loves us. So it then states that the brothers begin to get jealous. And now the brothers are jealous of Joseph because Joseph is special. Joseph has the love and the deep respect of their father. And so it then states that as life goes on, these boys are now working in the field. They're working out. They're doing the different things to tend to the fields and tend to the different things for their father of what sons are supposed to do. And it states that Joseph began to have dreams. And I'm going to read this. And this is Genesis chapter 37. I'm going to read at verse 4. And it says, when his brothers saw that their father loved him more than any of them, they hated him and could not speak a kind word to him. Verse 5, Joseph had a dream, and when he told it to his brothers, they hated him all the more. He said to them, listen to this dream I had. We were binding sheaves of grain out in the field when suddenly my sheaf rose and stood upright while your sheaves gathered around mine and bowed down to it. His brothers said to him, do you intend to reign over us? Will you actually rule us? And they hated him all the more because of his dream and what he said. Then he had another dream and he told it to his brothers. He said, listen, he said, I had another dream. And this time the sun and the moon and the 11 stars were bowing down to me. When he told his father as well as his brothers, his father rebuked him and said, what is this dream you had? Will your mother and I and your brothers actually come and bow down to the ground before you? His brothers were jealous of him, but his father kept the matter in mind. Now his brothers had gone to graze their father's flock near Shechem. And Israel said to Joseph, as you know, your brothers are grazing the flocks near Shechem. Come, and I am going to send you to them. Very well, he replied. Stop. I'm not going to read anymore. Now I'm going to go in and discuss this. So now we have Joseph, who is now loved deeply by his father, hated by his brothers because of the love that his father has for him. Not only is he hated because of the love that the brothers have, but now he has a dream. He begins to dream that his sheaves are going to stand upright and his brother sheaves are going to bow down to him. Now you have Joseph with a dream. Remember, a dream is a succession of images. Hold on. A succession of images and or thoughts that flow through the mind. So now you have Joseph who now have images going through his mind. Now he begins to tell his brothers and his father the different dreams that he has, and the dreams that he has now have been put out in the forefront. They have now been told, and now that they've been told, they are now in the airwaves to create a vision. We're going somewhere. We're going somewhere. We're going somewhere. I'm getting hyped. Yes. So now you have a dream that is getting ready to become a vision. So it then, because I need you to understand this. When you begin to discuss your dreams, when you begin to tell people your dreams, because people usually say, oh, this is vision, these are vision. First and foremost, you can't have a vision unless God didn't give you a dream. God has to give you a dream before he give you a vision. The Bible says in Joel chapter 2 that in the last days that my sons and my daughters will dream dreams, have visions, and prophesy. Why is it that God would put dreams, have visions in that order? I hope y'all caught that. I hope you caught that, because in order for you to have a vision, you have to have had a dream. You have to have had thoughts and images going through your mind. You have to have seen something in your mind in order for it to be a vision, because a vision is you anticipating for something to come to pass. What are you anticipating to come to pass? My dream. I'm anticipating my dream to come to pass, because a vision is to have an anticipation for something that you saw to come to pass. You have to have seen something in order for it to be a vision for you to want it to come to pass. So when God puts it in Joel that in the last days, my sons and my daughters will dream dreams. Once they dream dreams, they will then have visions. And when they have visions, they will then prophesy. What is prophecy? Prophecy is the future. Prophecy is the future. When you prophesy, you are prophesying what's to come. Vision is to have an anticipation for something to come to pass. So God put it in order, and God says, my daughters and my sons will soon have dreams. Once they dream these dreams, he said, dream dreams. Oh God. They will dream dreams. They will have thoughts and images that will flow through their mind. And what they saw, they will then anticipate for it to come to pass. That's the vision. And then prophesy is when it comes to pass. It's the prophecy of it. So what took place was Joseph had a dream. Joseph now has a dream. Joseph's dream is now becoming a vision, because now he is in anticipation of this dream to come to pass. You know why? Because the brothers interpreted the dream. The father interpreted the dream. See, Joseph wasn't looking for an interpretation. He was just telling them what he saw. He was telling them what he saw. He wasn't looking for them to interpret the dream. He wasn't looking for them to tell him what it was. He was just a 17-year-old boy who was having dreams, and he didn't understand his dream. So he was so excited that he wanted to tell his brothers and his fathers what he dreamt. Now he has told them what he dreamt. Now the dream has been interpreted into a vision, because now Joseph is looking like, wait a minute, my brothers have interpreted what I dreamt. Now I am in anticipation of what's to come. Now my dream has become a vision. Now my dream has become a vision. And I know people preach this all the time, and they preach, you can't tell everybody your dreams. You can't tell everybody, and they use that. No, you can't tell everybody your dream, but sometimes you gotta tell your dreams, because when you sometimes tell your dream, the dream brings on the necessary attack to get you to the prophecy. See, you got to understand, if Joseph didn't tell the dream, see, a lot of people will tell you, don't you tell it, don't you tell it, don't you tell it, don't tell it yet, don't tell it yet, don't tell it yet, don't tell it yet, don't tell. See, you got to, sometimes you know, just don't say nothing, because people praying against you, people praying against what you doing, people praying against, guess what? They can pray all they want to, but when God has given you a dream, nobody can stop what God does. Nobody can stop what God said. Nobody can stop what God has already planned over your life. If God has a plan for your life, the plan is going to go forth, because God did it, not man. So sometimes you've got to tell somebody your dream, because they're going to get to the place where the attack happens, because the attack was necessary for Joseph. Joseph would have never got to Potiphar, from Potiphar to the prison, and from the prison to the palace, if he didn't tell his dream. Because the dream became a vision. And the vision then became the prophecy. Huh? Woo! Somebody better catch this. So Joseph tells his dream. Brothers get mad. Daddy feeling some type of way. But because the daddy loved him so much, he kept it in his mind. He didn't discuss it anymore. So it says the brothers are out at Shechem. And they're out doing what they do to the field, tending to the flock. And it then says that Israel, Jacob, the father, says, Joseph, come here, son. This is what I want you to do. I want you to go out there to your brothers. I'm going to read it so you can see it. And it says, go, and it says, and Israel said to Joseph, as you know, your brothers are grazing the flocks near Shechem. Come, and I am going to send you to them. Very well, he replied. So he said to him, go and see if all is well with your brothers and with the flocks, and bring word back to me. Then he sent him off from the valley of Hebron. When Joseph arrived at Shechem, I'm going to stop right there. So now you have Joseph, who is on his way to go to his brothers just to check and make sure that the brothers are all right and that everything is going well. You now have him just going to do what father said. I'm just going to do what my daddy said. I'm just going to do what my daddy said. You know what I'm saying? I'm being obedient. How many of you? Come on, Joseph. Come on, Josephs. There's a lot of Josephs on here. There's a lot of Joseph on here. Woo! Jesus. There's a lot of Josephs on here. There's a lot of Josephs on here. So you got Josephs that I'm just doing what my daddy said. You know what I'm saying? I ain't out here trying to do all kind of stuff. I'm being obedient to my father. How many Josephs are just being obedient to your father? You don't even understand what's getting ready to take place. You don't even understand that your obedience to your father has actually moved you in the direction of the attack. Come on. I need somebody to catch that one. Somebody should have catched that one. I am just being obedient to my father. And my obedience actually put me in a path of the attack. Sometimes the obedience also takes you to the suffering, because Romans 8:18 says, for I reckon that the sufferings of this present time is not worthy to be compared to the glory that will be revealed into you later. So that means I have to suffer in order to get to glory. So my obedience to my father will cause me to suffer sometimes. Do I need to go back to Jesus? Do I need to take a trip down memory lane? Do I need to travel down the road of Jesus real quick and to let somebody know that Jesus' obedience to his father caused him to suffer, but in his suffering, it soon brought him to the glory? Did I need to go down memory lane so that somebody can understand that your obedience to your father is going to take you down the road of suffering? Your obedience to your father will take you down the road of attacks sometimes. Don't you know that there is glory that God is trying to bring out of you? Don't you know that there's some oil that God is trying to press, God is trying to beat? Don't you know that there is some oil? Don't you know that there is a purpose? Don't you know that there are some things that God has for you that's greater? And in order for you to get to the greater, you've got to go through a great attack. You've got to go through some great suffering. You've got to go through so that you'll be able to appreciate where you are. Because remember, in the beginning, we give God praise when God brings us out. We give God glory when God brings us out. We don't understand why we go through what we go through until we get to the end of that thing. That's when you say, God, I thank you for the glory. God, not only do I thank you for the glory, but I thank you for the suffering. My obedience to my father is now taking me down the road to meet up with my attack. Listen, that's a word. That's a word. That's a word by itself. My obedience to my father had me traveling down the road to meet my attack. Somebody need to write that down. Somebody need to write that down. My obedience to my father. Listen, I had flatlined for a minute, but I came back. Come on. That's how our God is. He's a reviving God. He revives. He revives. Yes, he does. He revives, and he's a reviving God. My obedience to my father actually allowed me to travel down the road to meet my attack. So here you have Joseph. I'm just being obedient to my father. Very well, Father, I'm going to do exactly what you said. Joseph is just going to be obedient. And now Joseph gets to where his brothers are in Shechem. And he gets there. And as he gets there, the brothers see him. Now the brothers see him coming. And the brothers are jealous now. And they already jealous, but they just got more jealous. Now they're thinking about, oh God, remember he told us about that dream. You know what I'm saying? He think he better than us. He got a coat with many colors. And he think he better than us now. He think we gonna bow down to him. You know, you got those people that you tell your dreams to, not thinking that they're going to do you wrong, not thinking that they're trying to murder you, not thinking they're trying to backstab you, not thinking that they're against you. You just telling people your dreams because you're excited about the dream you had, or you just want to just tell somebody your dream. You don't know why they act the way they act. You wasn't expecting them to act the way they act, but you're just excited God gave you an image. You're just excited God gave you a thought. So here it is. Joseph checks on his brothers. Now, mind you, they're plotting to kill Joseph. They're plotting to throw Joseph in a well. They're plotting to take Joseph out at this point. How many of you know that Satan, the enemy's job, John chapter 10, and it says, verse 10, that the thief, cometh but to steal, kill, and to destroy. But God cometh but that you might have life and have it more abundantly. Yes. So you now have the thief that now wants to steal, kill, and to destroy you. You now, Joseph, yeah, I'm talking to you, Joseph. You now have the enemy wanting to take you out because of the fact that you had a dream. And now your dream has turned into a vision because the brothers interpreted your dream, and now the interpretation now puts you in anticipation for what has been interpreted. So now you interpret my dream. Now I got a vision. I am now anticipating this to become a prophecy. I want this to come to pass. So now you plotting to kill me because of my dream. Now you plotting to kill me because I got a vision. Now you plotting to take me out because you upset that my vision and my dream may cause you to have to bow down to me. It's upsetting you that the Lord may put me in a leadership role and you might have to serve me. You getting upset because of the fact that the Father has a plan to take me higher, and the plan to take me higher is not to disqualify you or not to discredit or devalue you. Maybe this plan is to help protect you. Maybe this dream is to help bring you out. Maybe this dream is when I elevate and increase, you will too, but you just don't want to increase off of the expense of me. You want to be the one that goes up first and I benefit off of you. You want to be the one that is the leader and I bow down to you. You want to be the one. Somebody better catch this. Somebody better catch this. You upset. And you not just upset, but you big upset. You big mad right now. So you plotting. Brothers, you plotting to kill me. Joseph is clueless right now. And so it says the brothers take Joseph. They take him. They take him. And it says here, let's go to this first. Joseph is wandering in the field. And there's a man that asks him, what are you looking for? It says, he replied, I'm looking for my brothers. Can you tell me where they are grazing their flocks? He says, they have moved on from here. The man answered, I heard them say, let's go to Dothan. So Joseph goes to find his brother. He goes to Dothan. And it says, but they saw him in the distance. And before he reached them, they plotted to kill him. See? So there it says, here comes that dreamer. It's just like, it's just like the one you shared your dream to try to be sarcastic and ridicule you. There goes that dreamer. There he is. There's that Joseph right there, that dreamer. There goes that dreamer. Yes, that's you. That's you. You got some dreams. That's you. You've got a dream. There goes that dreamer, they said. And it says, come now. Let's kill him and throw him into one of these cisterns and say that a ferocious animal devoured him. Then we'll see what comes of his dream. See, this is the issue and the problem. Here you are, just having a dream. All I got is a dream. All I got is a dream. And I told you my dream. You got upset, even though you interpreted and you gave me a vision. But the fact of the matter is, you trying to kill me because you know it's going to come to pass too. I'm bad. You trying to kill me because you know it's going to come to pass too. You trying to destroy me because you know what I just told you is going to come to pass. So you want to take me out. Because if you take me out, then you don't have to bow down. If you take me out, if you take me out, then there's a chance that you might be able to rule. But how many of you know that Satan can't change the plan of God? How many of you know that Satan can't change the plan of God? There you go, trying to change the plan. It's just like Satan to think his plot is going to override the plan. Ooh! See, it says the brothers plotted. They plotted. The brothers plotted to kill him. It's just like Satan. It's just like Satan to get a plot and think his plot will override the plan, because Satan has plots, but God has a plan. Jeremiah 29:11 says, for I know the plans that I have for you. God is too mighty. God is too strategic. God is too specific. God crosses all the T's and dots all the I's. Satan don't do that. Satan comes up with plots. A plot is a quick scheme. A plan is a well detailed, thought out. God is a planner. Satan is a plotter. So here, Satan thinks his plot will override the plan. Not. So here you have the brothers plotting to kill Joseph, to kill the plan. But how many of you know that the plan says in Jeremiah 29:11, for I know the plans that I have for you, plans to prosper you, not to harm you, to give you a future and a hope, to get you to the expected end, to get you to the prophecy, to get to the end of the vision. How many of you know that Satan's plot is to kill you. Satan's plot is to destroy you. Satan's plot is to get rid of you. But because God's plan is not to harm you, I don't care what Satan does. God's plan always win. God's plan always win. The plot will not override the plan. The plan overrides the plot. So Joseph's brothers plot to kill him. But there's a plan. And the plan is for Joseph to prosper. The plan is for Joseph to rule. The plan is for Joseph to get to a high place. Remember, he had a dream. The dream turned into a vision. Now it has to be a fulfilled prophecy. In the last days, I will pour out my spirit on all flesh, and they will dream dreams, have visions, and prophesy. So I have a dream. My dream turns into a vision, because my dream is images or thoughts that I see in my mind, and my vision is something that I am anticipating to come forth. And when it comes forth, it is a fulfilled prophecy. So therefore, Satan is trying to plot to kill me so that the plan of me ruling does not come to pass. But there is a plan, and the plan is now coming into effect because there's one brother that says, no, let's not kill him. Let's not kill him. We don't want to kill him. Y'all should have been sharing this. Y'all should have been sharing this. Share this live. Share this live. No, no, let's not kill him. Let's not kill him. It says here, when Reuben, verse 21, because see, he's got a brother. This brother kind of liked Joseph. You know what I'm saying? This brother kind of likes Joseph. Even though he's one of those old evil brothers, he kind of likes Joseph, and he knows the love that his father has for him. So here's Reuben. Reuben says, when he heard this, he tried to rescue him from their hands. He said, let's not take his life. He said, don't shed any blood. Throw him into this cistern here in the wilderness, but don't lay a hand on him. Reuben said this to rescue him from them and take him back to his father. So when Joseph came to his brothers, they stripped him of his robe, the ornate robe he was wearing, the one of many colors, and they took him and threw him into the cistern. The cistern was empty. There was no water in it. As they sat down to eat their meal, they looked up and saw a caravan of Ishmaelites. Listen. These are Ishmael's descendants now. Remember, we have Isaac and we have Ishmael. The Ishmaelites are the descendants of Ishmael. And it says the Ishmaelites coming from Gilead. Their camels were loaded with spices, balm, and myrrh. And they were on their way to take them down to Egypt. Judah said to his brothers, what will we gain if we kill our brother and cover up his blood? Come, let's sell him to the Ishmaelite and not lay our hands on him. After all, he is our brother, our own flesh and blood. That's just like Satan, to be double-minded. Isn't he double-minded? Isn't Satan double-minded? I need y'all to share this. I need y'all to share this. I need y'all to share this. It's just like Satan. Thank you for sharing, baby. Thank you for sharing, Charlotte. Thank you for sharing, Jonisha. It's just like Satan to have a plot, but he's so double-minded that God's plan even gets in his mind. And he now says, you know what? Thank you for sharing, baby. Thank you for sharing, Sonia. You know what? We're going to go ahead. Thank you for sharing, Linda. We're going to go ahead and we're going to sell him to the Ishmaelite. So it says, when the Ishmaelite comes up, they sell him, and I'm just going to go on through. They sell Joseph. They sell Joseph And when they sell Joseph, he takes Joseph on. Now, I need y'all to understand what's taking place now. Now that Joseph is sold, Joseph now is not killed, he's not slaughtered. I know it goes on to the brothers going back telling the father, but we're going to go on and we're going to talk about Joseph now, because you need to get to the prophecy. You need to get to the vision being fulfilled, because you need to understand why the attacks are necessary, why the attacks are necessary, why the suffering is necessary. So it goes on into now Joseph is sold. He's sold to the Ishmaelite. And now that Joseph is sold to the Ishmaelite, Joseph now gets to Egypt. Now that he's in Egypt, he is now given to Potiphar. Now, we have to understand who is Potiphar. Who is Potiphar? You know, Potiphar got to be somebody, you know what I'm saying? Who is Potiphar? Potiphar is one of the main men to the King Pharaoh. Potiphar is somebody special. Potiphar is an administrator to Pharaoh. So now we have Joseph in Egypt. His father is told that he's dead and gone. His father is told that he's been killed by a ferocious beast. And here is his proof of the robe. And it says Joseph is in Potiphar's house. And he's getting favor. Favor. Y'all heard that? He's getting favor. Now he's got favor over his life. To now Potiphar is taking a liking. Potiphar now is taking a liking to Joseph. Wait a minute. I like this boy. I like how he operates. Mind you, the reason why the favor is on his life is because of the fact that this boy had a dream. And the dream came from God. So no matter what happens in your life, no matter what goes on, when God give you a dream, let me tell you something. The favor of God is on your life. And not only is the favor of God on your life, but the favor of God is on your life till the Spirit of God covers your life. And now that the Spirit of God covers your life, the Spirit of God covers your life, that no matter where you go, you cannot be harmed. So now you have the Spirit of God that covers your life, and it grants you the favor in your life. To now Potiphar lets this boy rule his house. He ruling Potiphar's house. Now you're sold into slavery. You're a slave in Potiphar's house, but you're ruling Potiphar's house. How is it that you are a slave, but you still have authority? Jesus, yay, God, yes, God. How is it that you are a slave, but you still have authority? You have to understand that when you become a slave to the king, when you are obedient to your father, when you are a servant of your father, he will still allow you to have authority over the things of the land. I believe that is in Genesis chapter 1, verse 26 and 27, when it said that God created man and woman. God created them, and them he created. And when he created them, he gave them the authority. He gave them the rules. He said, be fruitful and multiply. He said, subdue, have dominion, and rule the earth. You mean to tell me that my God gave me authority? So it is what it is. Because I serve him, it doesn't matter what position I am in. I can be in a slavery position. I can be in a position of lack. I still got authority. My authority is, even though I may not have the finances for the bill, still yet my authority is, I speak and the power of life and death in my tongue becomes my authority. And my authority says, I may be lacking. I may be lacking. I may not have more than enough at this point, but my God will supply all of my needs according to his riches in glory. That's the authority that you have. And when you use the authority that you have is when your Father, because you came boldly before the throne, you've got access to go before the throne of grace boldly. Because you came boldly with authority, the authority caused God to move. I move because you got authority and you use your authority, because when you spoke it, you operated in faith. Hebrews 11:1 says, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Faith is the evidence. The evidence is faith. Faith is what I can't see coming to pass. Faith is the vision, because the vision is something I'm anticipating to see. Faith says the vision will become a prophecy fulfilled because it's the dream that I already saw. Oh! I have nothing to worry about. Here I am in a slavery position, but I still got authority. I still got authority. Here it is, the doctor said, you are diagnosed with cancer. You are diagnosed with diabetes. You are diagnosed with aneurysms. You are diagnosed with lupus. You are diagnosed with sickle cell. You are anemia. You got all these different diseases. You're diagnosed with this and you're in this state. But how many of you know you still have authority to speak by his stripes? I am already healed. This will not stop the prophecy from being fulfilled, because miracles, signs, and wonders is who I am. I'm a slave with authority. I'm a slave with authority. Oh God, I'm a slave, Joseph says, with authority. So you got him. One attack, the brothers attack him to kill him, but they sell him. My obedience to my father said, go check on my brothers. My obedience to my father made me travel down the road to be attacked because I had a dream. And my dream was interpreted, for now it's my vision that I'm anticipating to see. So now I'm down the road of attacks. I'm now sold. I'm a slave with authority. Satan don't like that. How can you be a slave with authority? Satan don't like that. Satan's not feeling that. Y'all need to share this. Somebody's going to get delivered today to understand why they're in their attacks and why the attacks are necessary. Satan don't like that. Satan don't like that you are a slave with authority. So there's something that I have to do, because I'm still trying to stop the vision from coming to pass. I'm trying to make sure that vision don't come to pass. So you're a slave with authority. I need to take your authority. If you're going to be a slave, you need to be a slave. And so what Satan wants to do is, Satan wants to lock down your power. Satan wants to take your authority. So here it is, the wife of Potiphar. She's admiring Joseph. He's so strong, he's so built, he's so structured. He looks really good. He's in shape and he's walking around and he looks so enticing and so intriguing. And I just want him. This is the mind of Potiphar's wife. And she wants Joseph to lay with her. She wants to connect with Joseph, and Joseph being a God man, a God of valor, a man of valor. He's being a man of God, a man with the favor of God, a man of humility, a man of honor, a man of respect. When Potiphar's wife comes to him and say, Joseph, come. And when he comes, she tries to entice him and tries to throw herself on him. Joseph says, no, I can't do that. I respect you, your husband. I respect who he is. And this man has given me a chance to rule even in my position. Even though I am a slave, he's given me authority. There's no way I will betray the man that has given me this honor. No, it states that Potiphar's wife gets upset, and when Joseph begins to run away, she grabs and rips his garment. And when she rips a piece of his garment, she then calls for the guards, and she begins to tell the guards that Joseph tried to rape me. Joseph tried to rape me. He tried to take me. And I told him no. It's just like Satan to try and devalue you and downgrade your name. It's just like Satan to try to destroy your character. It's just like Satan to try to make you look like you're the bad guy when you're really the one that's being faithful and honest and true. It's just like Satan to try and make you look like you are nothing and you are a liar, a stealer, and a cheat. It's just like Satan to try to change who you are in the eyes of other people. So here it is. They go and get Potiphar, and she begins to put on this act as if she's so distraught and she's so hurt and she's so crazy. Oh my God, baby, Joseph tried to take me. Joseph tried to rape me. Oh my God. Joseph came on to me, and I told him, no, you have to go. I don't want to do. I love my husband. I would never step out of my marriage. He tried to rape me, Potiphar. He came up to me. Potiphar, he touched me, and this is my proof that he was here in my room. See, I have a piece of his garment, because when I begin to yell and cry out rape, he took off running, and I could grab a piece of his garment to let you know that he was here. Potiphar, you have to destroy him. He tried to rape your wife. And it says Potiphar's shocked. Potiphar's looking crazy. Potiphar's like, hold on, wait a minute. I trusted this boy. I love this boy. Joseph wouldn't do that to me. And I have his garment. I have a piece of his garment. See what I have? You know he's been here. I have his garment. And it says Potiphar loved him. Potiphar couldn't kill him. Potiphar couldn't kill him. Potiphar couldn't take him out. He just knew that boy. So he put him in prison. And it said when he put him in prison, it said he put him in prison. Now you have Joseph attacked again. How many more attacks I gotta go through because I got a dream? All because of a dream. The dream I had is taking me down the road of attacks. I can't help because God gave me a dream. I can't help because God gave me a dream, and my dream was interpreted, and now I'm anticipating for it to come to pass. I now have a vision. And all I want to do is see prophecy fulfilled. And I got to go through all these attacks. I got to go through all these attacks because I had a dream. So now I'm in prison. I'm locked down. They got me in a cage. They put me in a box. Oh, how many of you been put in a box? Ha ha ha. Oh, Jesus. They put you in a box. They categorized you. They said, this is where you are. This is all you can do. This is as far as you can go. Stay in this box. You're a great preacher. You're a great prayer. We just want you to stay in this box, not knowing that God had called you to be fivefold. Woo! I don't know how many Josephs is on here, but I'm speaking to a Joseph. They try to put you in a box and say, all you are is an evangelist. That's all you can do. You're a teacher. That's it. They didn't understand that God had called you to be fivefold and you're operating in all the ascension gifts. And they trying to tell you that you don't carry the apostolic anointing. You don't have the apostolic mantle on you. You are just a bishop. You desired that position because a bishop is a desired position. That's what the word said. I'm not making this up. It's in Peter. Read it if you want to. I read that if you would like to be a bishop and you want to desire this position, that's why it says designated bishop, because you desired to be a bishop. And so because you desired to be a bishop, you had to have the qualifications of having one wife. That's about to kill all of the women bishops. Booyah. Everybody is getting ready to get their bubbles burst. That qualification alone lets us know that there is no such thing as women bishops. Because if same-sex marriage and women liking women and men liking men, if that is an abomination, then there is no way that a woman can be a bishop, because a bishop's qualification is to be a man of one wife. A woman is not a man, and a woman is not supposed to have a wife. I'm just interpreting the word the way the Lord gave it to me. A woman can be an apostle because it didn't have specifications on whether a man or a woman can be an apostle. A woman can bring forth the word. We have so many. We have Priscilla and Aquila that they spread the gospel. There were a lot of women who helped Paul spread the gospel. There were Deborah and there were many other women. If there is an issue and a problem with a woman carrying the word and producing the word, then somebody need to get upset with God, because Mary carried the word. Oh my God, Jesus. You better break it down in here, God. Mary carried the word. It says in the beginning of John was the word, and the word was with God, and the word was God, and it still is God. And then it talks about later on down in the word how word became flesh, how the spirit became flesh. And if you know that in the beginning was the word spoken, and the word was with God, which is the spirit, and the word was God, which is God, because in Genesis of the beginning of creation, because John being the beginning of creation was Genesis, and it talks about in Genesis chapter 1 around about verse 2 how the spirit of God hovered over the waters. And when God said, let us meaning plural, there was somebody else there with God for us to make man in our image. And when God made man, he made man which was not the image until he blew life into him. Uh-oh. He blew life into man, and then man became the image of who was us, God and spirit. So in the beginning was the word, word spoken, because God spoke, said, let there be. And the word made everything that he said, let be, come to pass. So in the beginning was the word spoken. The word was with God, which was the spirit. The word is the spirit. And the word was God, which is God. So it's God, spirit, and word spoken. So now we have God's spirit and word spoken. Later on in the scripture, it says that spirit then became flesh. So if spirit became flesh, it's talking about Jesus being the spirit that left heaven to become flesh out of the womb. That means Mary carried the word and she produced the word. Uh-oh. Bust some bubbles right there. So women can bring forth a word. Women can preach. Women can speak. Women can produce the word, but they just can't be bishops because they can't marry women. And the qualifications of being a bishop is to be a man of one wife. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. But anyway, people like to put you in a box. Y'all thought I forgot where I was. See, when you and God, he'll make you remember. People put you in a box. And they like to put you in a box and make you feel like this is where you stay. This is where you go. No authority in other land. You can't do that and that. And you can't do that and that. And you can't operate in this and do. You can't be an apostle and a prophet. You can't be a prophet and be a pastor. You can't be a pastor and be an evangelist. You can't be an evangelist and be a teacher. The devil is a liar. Yes, you can. God graces who he want to grace with all the gifts. He graces who he want to grace with all the gifts. So people put you in a box and they tell you to stay right here. Joseph was put in prison and he was told this is where you're going to stay. You're going to stay right here. But how many of you know that the attack was necessary? How many of you know that being in prison was a part of the purpose? How many of you know that even though they put you in a box, there's somebody who's in that same box that you're going to have to help get out the box? And when you help them get out that box, they're going to help you now get out the box. Oh, Jesus, glory to God. I need somebody to catch this. I'm so hyped right now. Yes, Lord. They put Joseph in prison. And because of the favor that's on Joseph, I don't care how many attacks come. The favor that's on your life is going to go with you through your attacks. Oh, my God. Woo! That's why in Joshua chapter 1, the Lord told Joshua, he said to him, you're getting ready to take over. Moses is now gone, and I need you now to lead the people, and I need you to lead the people to the promised land, and I need you to know that everywhere that your feet touch. Now, he did not say that you weren't going to go through battle, you weren't going to go through war, you weren't going to have to battle for these different things, but he said everywhere that your feet touch, Joshua, everywhere your feet touch, you are going to own that land. And I need you to know that I will never leave you nor forsake you. I need you now to be strong and courageous. So even in the attack, even in the battles that Joshua went through, the Lord was with him. So you got to understand, even in the attacks, oh my God, even in the attacks, oh my God, even in the sufferings, your God is with you. Even though Joseph went through so many attacks, the attacks of his brother, the attack of Potiphar's wife, now in prison, don't you know the favor of God still is with him? Because there's a dream, and the dream became a vision, and now the vision has to be a fulfilled prophecy. God is still with you, Joseph. God didn't leave you, Joseph. Y'all better be sharing this. God didn't leave you, Joseph. Even though they put you in the box, even though they categorized you and said, this is what you do and this is it. Even though they said, no, they can't do that. Even though they tried to devalue your name, they tried to tear your name down. Don't you know the grace of God never left you? Because of God before you, who can be against you? Don't you know that no matter what happens, your God is going to be with you in the pit? Just like he was with Daniel in the lion's den. Just like he was with Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego. Don't you know, even in the midst of all of that, your God is still with you? So the favor and the grace never left Joseph. Joseph is now in prison because you have to understand what's in me is in me. I don't care where you put me. I'm going to be faithful to that. You might be put me in a box, but I'm going to show you how I'd use this box. Dog it. Come on, God. I don't care whether you put me in a box. Let me show you what I can create in this box. Let me show you what I can create with this box. Because see, you don't understand is I'm going to come out this box. And I'm going to make this box out of an airplane that I'm soon going to fly on. Have you ever, were you one of those kids that your mama gave you a box and say, use your imagination? Did you catch that? Use your imagination. Jesus, we can come back. We can come back. We ain't worrying about it. We're not worrying about it. We're not worrying about it. I'm not even going to give the devil no credit. I'm not going to give the devil no credit. So we're going to keep on going. Because how many of you know, how many of you, and where I was at was when I asked, how many of you have ever been given a box, or you gave your kids a box where you ordered something in the mail? And when you ordered something in the mail, yes, when you ordered something in the mail, you gave your kids the box, or you were given a box and you was told to use your imagination. What is an imagination? An imagination is a series of images. Oh my God, somebody better have a dream. 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 And an imagination is when you have several successions of images in your mind, a series of images in your mind. You begin to use your imagination, your dreams, the things that you begin to see. You begin to see things and you make your imaginations come to life. So now they put you in a box. Somebody better take that box and build an airplane. Just go ahead and take the box and build an airplane. Because how many of you know that even though they put Joseph in prison, what is in him is already in him. What is in him is already in him. You cannot take what is in somebody out because you put them in prison or because you put them in a box. When God called him to be Joseph, and I need somebody to understand what Joseph means. I didn't tell you this in the beginning, but now is the time for me to tell you. Joseph, the name Joseph, guess what it means in Hebrew? The name Joseph in Hebrew is Yosef. Joseph in Hebrew is Yosef. Yosef is spelled Y-O-S-E-F. Yosef. And Joseph in Hebrew is Yosef, which means increase. Oh my God. Did you hear that? Did you hear that? Did you hear that? The name Joseph in Hebrew is Yosef. Joseph, Yosef. And it means in Hebrew, increase. So you cannot take away what I am. I don't care how many times I've been attacked. I don't care how many times you caused the attack. You can't change who I am. I am increased. And And because I'm increased, I will increase. No matter whether you put me in a box, I'm going to increase in the box. Whether you put me in prison, I'm going to increase in prison. Whether you make me a slave, I'm going to increase in slavery. You don't understand that what the Lord has called me to be, I am going to be, because it's a part of his plan. It's a part of the plan. It's a part of the plan. So I don't care how many attacks come. I don't care how many times somebody lie on you, Joseph. I don't care how many times somebody try to kill you. I don't care how many times somebody try to sell you out. I don't care how many times they try to put you in a box. Joseph, you are increased. And because you are increased, whatever and wherever they do and put you, you will increase. So now Joseph is in prison. And it says Joseph is in the prison. Joseph minding his business. Joseph doing things. You know how Joseph is. But you know what happens? When you are increased, you have no choice but to increase. So it says that the guard of the prison finds favor with Joseph. Joseph has leverage at this point. What is leverage? Leverage means that I now have the experiences that qualifies me for the position. Your resume, let me put it down to terms that maybe you can catch it. Your resume is your leverage. Basically, your leverage is, or it shows that you are qualified for the position. Leverage means I have experienced so much. I have done some things. I've already been doing this, so that's what qualifies me for this. Joseph now has leverage. He finds favor with the guard. The guard now lets him rule the prison. Jesus. He's ruling the prison because the guard knows that he ruled Potiphar's house. I've got leverage because I manage Potiphar's house. I was a slave with authority. Now I'm a prisoner with authority. Ha! Jesus. I went from being a slave with authority to now I'm a prisoner with authority. I am a prisoner who rule prisoners. Oh my God. Y'all should have caught that in the spirit. You got to understand that you are a prisoner of Christ. And because you are a prisoner of Christ, you are now a prisoner with authority. And now you have the authority to now go and help other prisoners be set free. Help other prisoners get out. You are a prisoner with authority. Now Joseph is ruling the prison. Joseph is managing the prison. Joseph now gives commands. And he has authority. And it says Pharaoh gets upset with his cupbearer and his baker. And now it says he puts them in prison. Now you have a prisoner who has authority to rule over the prisoners. And it says that Joseph was a dreamer. Remember, Joseph is a dreamer. And now Joseph is a dreamer. So Joseph is a dreamer who has dreams, which now his dreams are what he's anticipating to come to pass. They're visions now. And so now he's in the prison ruling, and there is a cupbearer and a baker who is now in the prison because Pharaoh got upset with them and now they are in the prison. So now, Joseph is getting ready to become an interpreter. And he interprets the dream. And the dream that he interprets to the cupbearer is to tell the cupbearer, he says, you're going to be restored back to your position. But the baker is going to get killed. Uh-oh. You're going to be restored back to your position, cupbearer. But the baker is going to be killed. So we're moving right along. And it talks about how the dream now comes to pass. And the dream that now comes to pass is the baker is killed and the cupbearer is restored. But before they are now restored and killed, Joseph says, now remember, I told you and interpreted your dream. I'm the one that told you that you were going to get restored back to your position. And I'm the one that told you that the cupbearer was going to be killed. I mean, the baker was going to be killed. I'm the one that told you. Remember me when you go back to the palace and you tell Pharaoh what I did. Now, the cupbearer is restored. The baker is killed. The cupbearer forgets about Joseph. And life goes on. Now, mind you, Joseph is still a prisoner with authority because he's still ruling the prison. It doesn't matter how long they put you in that box. It doesn't matter how long you stayed in that box. Just remember, you keep doing what you are called to do even in the box. You keep being what you are already, increase in the box. So it says, Pharaoh has a dream. Pharaoh has a dream. And the dream Pharaoh has, no one can interpret the dream. Nobody can interpret this dream. And I'm skimming through now so we can get to the conclusion of the matter. Nobody can interpret this dream. Now, the cupbearer remembers. Hold on. Wait a minute. Hold up. 1 minute. I remember this boy in prison. Pharaoh, when you put me in prison, I had a dream. And the dream I had, there was this boy named Joseph. And he interpreted my dream. And exactly how he interpreted is how it happened. He told me that I would be restored back to my position and the baker would be killed. He can interpret your dream. So Pharaoh says, go, get him. Go get this boy. Bring this boy to me so he can interpret my dream. And it says he went to the prison where the prisoner with authority now is there. And it says that he says, hey, Pharaoh had a dream and nobody can interpret this dream. I told him about you and you got to interpret his dream. Now, it stated that before he could stand before the king, he had to get cleaned up. So it said he went through a process of cleaning. They shaved him real good. He washed up real good, put on some nice little clothes, and he went before the king. That's why y'all got to understand that y'all can't be going before the king any type of way. Uh-oh. That's another word. That's a preach. That will preach God. Just that scripture alone. You cannot go and stand before the king filthy, dirty, any type of way. You got to stand before the king clean. You got to stand before the king pure. You got to stand before the king groomed. So they clean Joseph up. And it says that when they clean Joseph up, Joseph now goes before the king. And the king tells Joseph, I heard you can interpret my dream. I need to know what this means. Pharaoh tells Joseph the dream. And Joseph says, I know what this means. I'm skimming through real quickly so we can hurry up and get to the conclusion. So I'm not going all in details. So it says Joseph interprets the dream and tells him that what's getting ready to happen is there will be several years of increase, and then there will be the same amount of years of famine. I know somebody's like, what in the world? Yeah, let me read this part so you know, so you can understand the conclusion. I need you to really get this part so you understand the end of why you have to go through the attacks. And you may think in your mind, I don't want to do that. But listen, right here, it says, hold on, let me get it. Let me read it. I want to read the right passage right here. The right passage. Hold on a second. Let me get it. My phone is going slow. So it says that Joseph interprets the dream. When Joseph interprets the dream, he then tells Pharaoh, because he needs Pharaoh to know what's about to take place with his dream. And it says that there will be several years of increase. And there will then be the same amount of years of famine. Did y'all catch that? Did you catch that? Did you catch that? There will be increase and there will be famine. Now, when I read this in the Amplified Version, it did not specify the numbers of how many years, but we already know the years. 7 years of increase and 7 years of famine. That's in the New Living Translation. 7 years of increase and 7 years of famine. Now, I don't know if y'all know the number of 7, but the 7 means completion. When you increase in these 7 years, that will be a completion. And then there will be 7 years of famine. So Pharaoh then wants to know, well, if we're going to have 7 years of increase, remember, catch this, remember, what's in you is in you. Remember, Joseph has leverage. Joseph has experience. Joseph has leverage. So Joseph ruled Potiphar's house. Joseph ruled the prison. So Pharaoh says, if we're going to have 7 years of increase and 7 years of famine, how are we going to do this? I don't know how is it that this is going to be good, because I don't want to die out. I don't want us to die. We're going to die out when the famine comes. What's in you is in you. Remember, Joseph's name in Hebrew means increase. Oh, you're catching it now, don't you? You're catching it now. His name in Hebrew, Joseph, is Yosef. Yosef. So Yosef means increase. So Joseph knows how to increase. Joseph knows how to increase. So here you have the king Pharaoh trying to figure out if we're going to have 7 years of increase and 7 years of famine, we're going to die out in the famine. No, we're not. Joseph says increase is now operating. Increase is now activated. Joseph's name means increase. So if he is increased, he knows how to increase. So Joseph says, no. This is what we're going to do. The 7 years of increase, we're going to work real hard. We're going to work really hard. Like, we're going to work really hard. We're going to work overtime. There's going to be no stopping. No stopping. No delays, no sitting back and chilling. See, you got to understand, in order for the vision to become a prophecy, you got to work it. Oh, I got to run on that one, y'all. Woo! Yes! Yes. See, the Bible says in Habakkuk to write the vision and make it plain. And that when you give it to them, those that read it will run. Oh, my basha. Yes, Lord. Those that read it will run and they will get it done. You got to understand that the vision has to be worked in order for it to be a fulfilled prophecy. Woo! Jesus Christ. See, Joseph had a dream, and the dream was that he was going to rule and go over his brothers and his parents. You got to catch it. The dream was that he was going to rule his family. His brothers got upset when he told the dream. He told them the dream. They interpret the dream through the act of jealousy. They interpret the dream through the act of jealousy, now causing it to become a vision. Let's break it down. What is dream? Dream is the succession of images. Y'all know I got to break it down. Dream is the succession of images or thoughts that go through the mind. Now, images is what you see. They're like pictures. They're what you see. Vision is the act or power of sight, meaning I have the power to see a thing. So not only is the act or power of sight, but it is also the anticipation of something to come to pass. So now you have a dream, which is images or thoughts that I saw in my mind. I now see these images and these thoughts through my vision. My vision now puts me in a place of anticipation to see come forth of what I've already saw. So now to see it come forth would be the prophecy being fulfilled. So now I have a vision which was before a dream. Remember, they will dream dreams, have visions, and then prophesy. So in order for you to get to the prophecy, there has to be a dream that then turns into a vision. So Joseph had a dream. The dream turned into a vision. Now the vision is about to come prophecy. So here we are. Increase says, no, we're going to work. Because now Pharaoh had a dream. 7 years of increase, 7 years of famine. Increase uses what is already in him. And because of who he is increase. So now increase says, no, we're going to work the vision. We're going to work the vision. Woo! Jesus. We're going to work the vision. The 7 years of increase, we're going to work nonstop. We're going to do double time. We're going to do overtime. And so when we get to famine, oh God, Jesus. When we get to famine, we will not even feel like we're in famine because increase has increased us even in famine. You got to understand that even though you go through the hard times of life, even though you go through some droughts, even though you go through some lacks in your life, you have to understand that when you have God, no matter where you are in your life, it will be as if you're not going through because you still have the favor of God over you. He worked the vision. He worked the dream. He worked it. He worked it. He worked it. So now Pharaoh says, that sounds good. Well, you know what? Since you came up with the idea, since you are the one that knows what you're talking about, I'm going to let you rule it and run it. I'm back. Somebody got to understand that the attack, somebody has to understand that the attacks are necessary. The attacks are necessary. The going through is necessary. It's taking you to a place to rule. It's taking you to a place of authority. It's taking you to a place of increase. So here you have Pharaoh saying, you know what? You gonna rule this. You gonna rule this. You gonna rule this. Since you know what needs to be done, you go ahead and rule it. Now you have someone that was almost killed by his brothers, that was sold into slavery, that was lied on by Potiphar's wife, that was thrown into prison, now in the palace, who is ruling second to the king. It said in the word that Joseph now is the second most powerful ruler of Egypt. He's the second highest ruler of Egypt. The first one was Pharaoh, and he was the king. So you have the king and Joseph, who are now the two most powerful people in Egypt. He went from Potiphar to prison to the palace. The attacks, walking down the road of attacks, made him walk right into purpose, right into the vision, right into the dream, right into the prophecy. He walked right into it. So now, hold on. So now you have Joseph running the whole ship, running the whole thing. Because mind you, he already has that ability. He already has that. So he went from slavery to authority, to being a prisoner with authority, to now being free with authority. Woo! Jesus, you got to understand that was 3. And the number 3 means resurrected. You better understand and you better catch it in the spirit realm. You may be crucified. You may go in the grave and they put dirt on you. But you better know that you getting up free. You will be resurrected. Yes. He went from being in Potiphar's house to being in prison to going to the palace. The boy was resurrected to the place of who he already was. He was a ruler. He was increased. God had already showed him the dream, and the dream became a vision, and now it's now prophecy. So now he's working the vision. And he has everybody working around the clock, non-stop. Everybody's working. Everybody's working. The clock is ticking. The clock is ticking. Years are passing by because they're getting ready to go into 7 years of famine now, because they're in the 7 year of increase. So the 7 year of increase, they're working. They're working. They're working. They're working, because in the year of the 7 years of famine, we're still going to increase. In God, there is no lack. I don't care if your bank account say zero. God still has your bills paid. God still has money for you. You got to understand it. You got to believe it. You got to walk in it. So in the years of famine, we still will be increasing because Joseph is ruling it. And Joseph's name in Hebrew is Yosef. And Yosef means increase. So not only will we increase in famine, we're increasing in famine because increase is ruling. Jesus Christ. Increase is now ruling. So now the 7 years of increase is over. They have now entered into the 7 years of famine. And it was hard. And it stated that Egypt was wealthy. Egypt had all of the wealth. They were very wealthy in Egypt. The most wealthiest place was Egypt because now famine is here and Egypt is still prospering. And it stated that everybody that lived on the outside of Egypt, which was also Joseph's family. See, you got to understand why you got to go through the process. You got to understand why you had to suffer. You've got to understand why you had to go through. It's all a part of the process. See, some of you thought that your family doing you wrong. Some of you thought, yes, God. Some of you thought your family rejecting you. Some of you thought your family throwing you out. Some of you thought your family lying on you. Some of you thought your family not being there for you. That was just hurting and all. They attacking me. You didn't understand that it was for you to save them too. Oh God. Yes, God. Yes, Lord, I hear you, God, and I'm taking it for me too. I'm taking it for me too. Glory to God. See, some of you didn't understand that your family had to do you wrong in order for you to get to the place where you're supposed to be. Your family had to do you wrong in order for you to get to the place of authority. Your family had to lie on you, had to reject you, had to push you out so that you can walk into the authority, into the increase that you are going to walk into, so that you can then turn around and be the one to help bring them out, help save them, help change them, help deliver them, help heal them. That's why you had to go through the attacks. That's why you couldn't be around family. That's why you were the odd child. That's why you were different. That's why you were set apart. That's why you had to go through what you went through. Yeah, you was molested. Yeah, you might be was raped. Yeah, you probably was abused. Yeah, you probably was adopted. Yeah, you was put in foster homes. Yes, you had to go through those things, but it's all a part of the process because God had to take you to a place called increase because your name means increase so that you can help them increase. So now everybody outside of Egypt is in famine and they are suffering. They have no crops, they have no cattle, they have nothing. And it says now that everybody comes to Egypt to buy. Everybody comes to Egypt to purchase, to take it back to where they live because of the fact that they don't have anything. And what they did have run out. And so now you have Joseph who came up with the idea that Egypt will forever increase because of the fact that even in famine, we will still increase because everybody outside of Egypt will have to come here and buy from us. So even in famine, we won't be in famine because of the fact that we will then be still gaining and increasing off of those that live outside. Y'all better catch this real good. See, there's something in you that others need. That's why Satan was trying to plot to destroy you. That's why Satan was trying to kill you. That's why Satan put you in a box, because Satan knew that you had something that people needed. Satan knew that people were going to come to you for advice. Satan knew that people was going to need your anointing to destroy their yokes. Satan knew that your prayer life, you being a prayer warrior, was going to help pray somebody out of their bondage, pray somebody out of their danger, pray somebody out of their sickness, pray somebody out of their life. Satan knew that people was going to come to you because what was in you, and he tried to stop and kill you before the vision became prophecy. So now increase has increased, because Joseph's name is increase in Hebrew. Increase has now increased, and not only has increased, but increase has caused whole Egypt to increase. And now Egypt is consistently increasing because everybody outside of Egypt has to come to Egypt to buy, which is causing Egypt to increase even the more. And now Joseph's brothers are now sent by his father to go to Egypt to buy them things that they need because they no longer have. And it states that Joseph sees his brothers, and what happens is he keeps his identity from his brothers. See, that's just like humility. That's just like humility. Jesus. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. That's just like humility. See, you got some people that God will increase and take them higher, and they want all their enemies to see. Yeah, I want all my enemies to see what God blessed me with. I want all my enemies to see me blessed. Yeah, I want all my enemies to see my new house. I want all my enemies to see my new car. I want all my enemies to see all this money I got. I want all my enemies to see we got a business. I want all my enemies to see we got that. I want all the people who talked about me to know what I got. I want all the people to know what. No, you ain't got to do that. You don't have to do that, baby. You don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. Because let me tell you something. If you continue to stay humble, the Lord will make your enemies your footstool anyway. If you continue to stay humble, the Lord will allow your enemies to see your blessings anyway. If you just stay humble, God will show your enemies. Let me tell you something. It's just like you to be a humble person and the Lord bless you with something that he had already promised you. But when your enemies was with you, he could not give you what he promised you, because then they would have tried to tag along off of what he promised you and not them. Because they was only hitchhiking. They was only hitchhiking. They was just catching a ride to where you was going. What is a hitchhiker? A hitchhiker is someone who catches a ride to the destination of where you're going. You know, people, when they are on the side of the road and they're hitchhiking a ride, you stop and say, "Where are you going?" And they say, where are you going? And they say, "Well, I'm going to New York." "Well, I'm a hitchhike to New York. I'm gonna catch you. Can I catch you to New York? Because you already going to I'm going to New York. But well, I'm trying to go to New York." Let's get that straight. Let me break that down a hitchhiker real quick, because the Lord had to give me revelation of a hitchhiker, and the Lord had to let me know I had to make sure that you dropped off your hitchhikers before you got to your destination, because your hitchhikers was trying to get to your destination and not theirs, because they really didn't have one. There was just Jesus. So let me tell you what hitchhikers do. Their hitchhikers want to go to New York. That's where they want to go. But see, the reason why they're a hitchhiker is because they can't go. They have no means of getting there. So they ask you, "Where are you going?" And you say, "I'm going to New York." They say, "Well, that's where I'm going too. Can I catch a ride with you?" So what happens is the Lord has to drop off all your hitchhikers before you get to your destination. Because see, they just trying to go where you going because of what's on your life. And so I have to drop off all your hitchhikers. I had to let all your hitchhikers drop off. So the reason why I didn't bless you with the car, and the reason why I didn't bless you with the house, and the reason why I didn't bless you with the job, the reason why I didn't bless you with the career, the reason why I didn't increase your finances, the reason why, because I needed everybody that was hitchhiking where I was taking you to fall off before I gave it to you, because then they would have tried to enjoy what I was giving you. Because when you got to New York, you were going to New York because you had a destination. They were hitchhiking because they were trying to get to a new place, but they didn't really have nowhere to go. See, you know where you going. Hitchhikers don't know where they're going. That's why they hitchhike. They hitchhike to get to different places until they try to figure out where they're going. They don't know where they're going. They hitchhiking. But see, you have a destination. You know where you're going. They just catching a ride because they don't know where they're going. Wherever they end up is where they end up. So that's why it's imperative that you stay humble and not try to show off everything that God gives you. Not try to show off your position, because God will allow your enemies to come back and see what he's done for you anyway. You don't have to do that. So it says Joseph hides his identity from his brothers and he sends them back. Go. Don't give them, go. Go. No. They can't buy from here. No. I don't want them to buy. No. He tells the people, no, they can't buy. Send them back. Send them back with nothing. They can't buy. And see, in your mind, you would be thinking, get them, Joseph. Get them. See, the Lord says, vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. I will repay. You trying to do your own vengeance. That ain't how Joseph got to where he was. You trying to take out your own revenge. You trying to render evil for evil. You won't be blessed like that. They talking about you when you talking about them. Shh. Let God validate who you are. Shh. Don't say nothing. Shh. Be quiet. So it says, Joseph said, no. They can't buy. Send them back. Send them back. Send them back. No. They can't buy nothing from here. Send them back. Mind you, they still don't know who Joseph is, because Joseph hides his identity. So the brothers go back to their father and tell their father, they wouldn't let us buy. They won't let us get anything. We couldn't get nothing. And the father says, no, you have to go back. We ain't got nothing. If we don't get anything, if we don't get anything, we don't buy anything, we're going to die. Go back. So it says they go back. When they go back this time, it says, then Joseph reveals his identity to them. And he lets them know, I'm your brother. But the thing about it is, the reason why he did not allow them to buy the first time, some may say, it's because he getting them back. Do it, Joseph. He getting them back. No. He didn't want them to buy because he wanted to take care of his family. See, that's a real man of God. Even though the vision came to pass, that now I rule whole Egypt, and I rule everything outside of Egypt. I rule all the surrounding areas. I rule everything. Everything. Egypt, the surrounding areas, everything's in your path. I rule everything. Even though the vision came to pass, even though the dream became a vision and the vision is now the fulfilled prophecy, Joseph knows why. Every attack, everything that happened to him was a part of this purpose. He had to save his people from famine. He had to save his people from dying. He had to save them. So he reveals his identity to his brothers. And he lets his brothers know, I'm not mad at y'all. I'm not even mad at you. I'm not even upset with you. I'm not even the slight bit offended by what you did. Because I understand that it was a part of the purpose. I understand that it was the process. I understand that your jealousy was a part of me being sold into slavery to get me to this point. Because if y'all had never gotten upset with me, and if y'all had never sold me into slavery, when Pharaoh would have had this dream and the 7 years of increase and now the 7 years of famine would have came around, we all would have died. I would have died with y'all. But because of the dream becoming an anticipated vision, I now got to the prophecy that not only am I saved, but I now get to save you. It was all a part of the purpose. God created me to save you. Even though you did me wrong, what's in me has caused me to help you come out. I now help you stop dying. I now helped you not die out. What God did for me is to help you get out of what you're in. And it says, now Joseph tells his brother, go get daddy, get mama, get all of them. Go get them. Bring them back. We've got a place here in Egypt for you to live. That way you will be saved. That way you will be protected. That way you won't have to worry about dying out to famine. That way you don't have to worry about that. Even though I am your brother that you hated. I am your brother that you plotted to kill. I am your brother that you sold. I had to go through being lied on by Potiphar's wife. I had to go through being put in prison. Even though I had to go through all of that, I understand that the attacks was for this purpose. I still love you. I still got your back. I'm still gonna cover you. I'm still gonna protect you. I'm gonna make sure that you don't die out, because I was created to help you keep walking in who you are. I am created to help you come out of darkness. I am created to help you walk into increase. I am created to help you be saved from danger. I am created to snatch you out of famine. I was created for this. The attacks were necessary, because if they weren't necessary, I would have died too. If I didn't go through these attacks, I would have died out in the famine just like you. Because Pharaoh had a dream. And the dream was going to come to pass regardless of whether I got to where I was. But the fact of the matter is, I had to get to this place. So y'all had to do what y'all had to do. So I want to tell all the Josephs on the line today, the attacks are necessary. God has given you a dream. And your dream is becoming a vision. And you've got to work the vision for it to become a fulfilled prophecy. And when it becomes a fulfilled prophecy, remember that every attack, you remain humble when you reach the increased purpose place. You remain humble knowing that God did it for a purpose. and that you don't have to worry because of the fact that what he's done for you is because what was already in you. When God created you, he created you with that purpose. So he had already equipped you with the things that you needed to make purpose come to pass. You don't have to pray, God, give me what I need. If he created you the way that you are, he's already given you what you need. You just need to unlock it with the keys that he's already given you. He says, I've given you the keys to the kingdom. And whatever you bind on earth, I'll bind in heaven. And whatever you loose on earth, I'll loose it in heaven. Unlock what he's already put in you so that you can go forth in what he's called you to. The attacks are necessary. They're needed for the dreams and the visions to become a prophecy fulfilled. I don't know who this was for, but I know that this morning when God was downloading all of this on the inside of me, I knew that he was talking to me, but I knew that he was talking to a lot of you. And I had to release what he was saying to me for you. Every dream, every vision needs the attacks. Every dream and every vision needs the attack. The attacks are necessary for your upgrade, for your increase. The attacks are necessary. Do not get weary in well-doing. And if you faint not, you're going to reap that reward, that harvest in your season called due. Your family may hate you. Your family may reject you. Your family may push you out. They may say you bougie. They may say you stuck up. They may say you think you all that. Who you think you are. Just like the brothers told Joseph, who do you think you are? You think you're going to rule us? You think you're going to be greater than us? You think you're going to be bigger than us? And Joseph is like, I'm just telling you my dream. I wasn't even thinking about it like that. But since you did interpret it for me, I'm going to make it a vision that needs to come to pass. And now that it became a vision, now it is a prophecy fulfilled because now I'm walking in my dream that I had. What I saw it's a reality. And now that it was all for me to help save you. Because you was going to die out in the famine. And so I had to get to this place for you to get to this place. So I need to encourage you. Stop complaining about your attacks. Stop complaining about who's after you. Stop complaining about who's trying to tear you down. Stop that complaining about that stuff. And remember that if God is for you, who can be against you? Nobody. 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 Remember, Joseph in Hebrew is Yosef, and it means increase. You are increase. Walk in your increase. Declare your increase. Believe your increase. And know that God wants to take you from faith to faith and from glory to glory. Just believe. Father, in the mighty name of Jesus, Father, I thank you for this day. God, we thank you for just being amazing and being awesome, being mighty, being everything that we need. Father, we thank you, oh God, for just your hand of mercy and your love and your grace. Father, I'm praying, God, that you, God, had allowed this word to get into somebody's heart, that they understand exactly who they are. And they examine their life and they begin to see that it's all a part of the purpose. It's all a part of the plan. You have something big and great for them. And it's coming out of their obedience to you. Just like Joseph was obedient to his father to go and check on his brothers. It led him down the road to meet up with his attacks. But God, it ended in him walking in the dream. So God, I pray today that somebody understands that as they're traveling down this road called obedience, that they will encounter attacks, but the attacks are only to get them to the dream that you have already showed them. To get them to work the vision that you have already given them. That they can then walk in the prophecy fulfilled. God, I am praying today that every mind was shifted and changed. Every heart was purified and open. Everybody's hands were purified and clean. God, I am praying today that somebody got a revelation of where they are, their position and their situation of what they're in right now. And they're at the place where they are going to continue to go hard. They're going to shift. They're going to keep on enduring. They're going to keep on pressing. They're not going to give up. They're not going to throw in the towel, but they're going to keep on walking this thing out. I pray today that somebody stands up on a foundation in you and their mind is stable in you and they begin to surrender their all to you and tell you, God, however you want to do it, whichever way you want to do it, here I am, God, you do it. Father, and I am praying for complete healing. I'm praying for complete deliverance. I'm praying for breakthroughs. I'm praying for them to be set free. I declare victory over this life. And I speak the abundance of joy and peace and love and compassion. Overtake them and overwhelm them in this day. In the mighty name of Jesus the Christ. This prayer I sealed in your Son's name. Amen and amen. Go forth in God. Every dream, every vision that he has given you, go forth in it and believe and know that even though you may be attacked, even though they may try to degrade, devalue, dishonor who you are, it doesn't matter. Even though the doctors may say you're sick, even though the finances may say it's not enough, when you trust what God has already shown you and you believe what God has already given you and you saw, you will then continue to walk forward and know that there is an end, and the end is what you already saw. For he knows the plans that he has for you. It's to prosper you, not to harm you, but to take you to an expected end. I love you guys. God bless you. Keep me in your prayers that I continue to be all of what God needs me to be, that I stay focused and I continue to operate in the Spirit of God. I stay low and meek and humble, that God can get the glory out of my life as I pray the same for you. If you would like to mail me your prayer request, you can do it at P.O. Box 292-016, Columbia, South Carolina, or you can email it at KadishaJenkinsMinistries@gmail.com. If you would like to sow into the ministry, you already know how to do it. Those of you that are part of the HOP family, I love y'all so much. I love y'all so much. I love y'all so much. God bless. Have a good day.